Hi, welcome back to the shop. I'm Mike, and in this episode we're going to continue our dartboard cabinet build. This episode includes the plywood backing, the cork underlay, and the felt, as well as we're going to add the shelf to the cabinet. Let's begin with the plywood backing.
Take a 1/2 inch thick sheet of plywood and we're going to cut it to 25 inches wide by 29 inches tall. While I typically use the table saw's scale to measure out distances, on long cuts I like to double check it against a tape measure. This ensures that at long distances I have the proper cut the first time. Next we'll install the cork on the back panel. With the back panel temporarily in place, measure 24 inches from the top. This line represents where the shelf will go. I picked up the roll of cork from a local hobby shop for about $15. The roll said it was 24 inches wide, but in fact it was bigger by about 1/4 of an inch. We'll address this a little later. Measure 24 inches and mark the length on the cork. Now taking a straight edge and using a box cutter, cut the cork at 24 inches. The overlap of the frame on the cork was not that much. I decided to leave the roll unaltered. Pour a lot of wood glue down on the plywood. You don't want the cork to roll back up. Spread the glue around until you have a nice, even layer. Take a staple gun and using 1/2 inch staples, attach the bottom edge of the cork to the plywood backing. Gently stretch the cork so that there are no air pockets or bubbles. Let the glue dry for 24 hours. Lay the felt out flat on top of the cork board. Take a fabric iron and smooth out all of the wrinkles. You may need to use some water to steam out the felt. Remember to take your time with the ironing. Use spray adhesive to attach the felt to the cork board. A liberal amount is needed. Both the fabric and the cork will absorb the glue. Press the felt firmly into the cork. Use your hand to remove all of the wrinkles. Let the glue dry for 24 hours. With a box cutter, carefully trim the felt along the edge of the cork. It's okay if the felt is a little oversized. Let's now mill the wood for the shelf. Start by setting the table saw to 4 inches. I ripped 2 boards just in case. If I don't need the second, I can always use it for the drawers. Take your time in jointing the board. Check periodically to make sure it's flat by using a level or combination square. Back to the table saw. Set it to 3 3/4 inches wide. We are now going to resaw the board so that it is 1/2 inch thick. Place the jointed face against the fence. Use a feather board to press the wood against the table saw fence. Remember to use a push stick when resawing lumber. This operation also can be performed on a bandsaw. We'll thin the board to the final dimension using the planer. Set your combination square to 1/4 of an inch. As you plane the boards, check the thickness with the combination square regularly. You don't want the boards to become too thin. Our target thickness is 1/4 of an inch. Using a wood block as a spacer, glue and pin the shelf into place. That's all for this episode. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm Mike for Lepelstat Crafts. Thank you for watching.